Today on episode 61, our Bill George episode of Typical Chicago Fans, we have Sinkers and Floaters, a wild card weekend review, college football bowl-orama, bullpen, a weekly recap on the hardwood, some puck talk, a Blackhakws weekly roundup, and the TCF New Year's resolutions. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to Typical Chicago Fans. It is episode 61. We are
One of your favorite movies.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We went over that on the Daily Show the other night. I am a big fan of the movie 61.
I probably haven't seen that movie since like the month it came out.
It was a good movie. It was a good movie about Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle. Roger Maris going after the home run record. Unfortunately, did not get the home run record. No, he did get the home run record. Or he broke the home run record and actually said that it was like one of the worst things he ever did. Yeah. He just didn't like the being popular and stuff like that, the publicity. But good movie. Yes, 61. There we go.
I should have said this is our Roger Maris episode.
Yes, Roger Maris. We're 60. I can't believe I didn't.
Today on episode 61.
Yeah, on 61, our Roger Maris episode. We're going to rewind that. We're going to play it back. But we are back here we have a name for the cave. What are we going to call this? The DCF studio?
Yeah, we'll come up with something. Maybe we'll give it to the people on Twitter and let them name it.
We are here at where I do the TCF morning show. It is Sunday. It is NFL Wild Card Sunday, and second Sunday of Saturday.
Wild Card weekend.
Wild Card weekend. Yeah. It was a good weekend on football.
Yeah.
We had some good football
games. There was no bad games.
There's no bad games. Before we get into that, you can follow me on Twitter at ZLilja, LILJATCF. If you're watching on YouTube, it's right above me here. If you want to follow the main page, at typical_Chicago. Go to Facebook, go to Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans. You'll find us on there. What else is there? And
any social media you use, we're on it. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but also head on over to our YouTube page. We put all the daily shows up there, and I'm not going to bother Zach, but usually we put all of these podcast videos on YouTube. I don't know if he's behind or not. I don't want to bust his balls too bad. Attaboy. And then we'll get back to doing live shows here eventually, especially my world slows down a little bit after the end of February.
But it speeds back up tomorrow.
It does speed back up tomorrow. Back to work tomorrow after 2 weeks off. But follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF. And also, you can find all of our podcasts on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. And also, if you're not on there, you can find us on Spotify, so follow us there.
And with the morning show that we do, we put that on podcast first. We also put it on the YouTube. Follow, subscribe, rate, review. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple. Follow us on Spotify. And like I said, go on to YouTube. Subscribe. We're up to 41 subscribers right now. We would like to break 50 here.
As soon as we get to 50, we've got a giveaway plan.
Yeah, we got that. We got a giveaway plan. Maybe a little T-shirt, that you can see right here a little bit with the TCF logo on there. If you want to buy a T-shirt, $10 if we can get it to you locally. If you need it shipped to you, $15. It's a TCF shirt right here. Boomy said we are out of...
I think we're out of larges.
Out of larges, but if you want anything other than a large, I think we have small, medium, and then extra
Maybe
large.
We have small, medium, large, and we're out of XL. That might be it.
That would make a little sense.
Yeah.
But let's get into the show right now. We got our sinkers and floaters. My sinker, football is fading away. Football is slowly fading away. After the wild card weekend, we'll have what, 4 games next? We'll have 2 games. Yeah, 4 games next week.
4 games next week. 2
then we'll
the
have
following.
2, and then after the 2 weeks off, we'll have the 1 Super Bowl, and that's pretty much the end of football for a while. And
hey, don't worry. The XFL starts up pretty soon.
The XFL starts. That is exciting. We'll see how.
Kind of like last year when I was excited about the AAF, and then that folded after 2 weeks.
We were a big AAF podcast.
We tried to get into it.
1 week, we actually, I think, previewed every single team that we had no idea what they were doing at all. But we tried. I might become a lacrosse guy. I kind of like the professional, the PLL. Part of my take, they just got a team.
Yeah. But I've been a fan. I like lacrosse. I watch college lacrosse, like especially those dog days, like where the only thing on is MLB baseball and college baseball and college lacrosse. I get into it pretty deep there. So I like lacrosse. So maybe I'll just become a PLL guy. But yeah, football is slowly winding down.
Coming to. As I said, this weekend and next weekend are the last 2 weekends. We'll have 4 games in NFL. Then it goes to 2. It's weird. Yeah. No Patriots.
7 games left plus the Pro Bowl.
No Patriots. No Saints. It's gonna be a lot of new name.
To see it.
We got Rodgers still in it, but like so let's say Rodgers lose next week, that would just be crazy. All pretty much new name quarterbacks,
right?
Young guys that.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If Russell Wilson goes, he we won't get in. I guess we'll wait until. But he had no idea he was playing the Packers because they didn't. I guess no one really thought the Vikings would beat the Saints.
Yeah.
And then if the Vikings would have lost to the Saints, then the Saints go play, and it would be a totally different thing. So, what is your sinker, Boomer?
My sinker is teachers. And that is because, not only am I one, I have to go back to work tomorrow or today when this comes out, but a Wisconsin man was recently cited for regularly defecating in a public park for over a period of 2 years, admitted as excuse. Jeffrey Churchwell of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, has been doing this for a period of 2 years, 60 years old. Agreed to pay a $365 fine plus $5,705 to the county public works department to reimburse them for the stains he left behind. The reason I bring up teachers is because this man is a retiring English teacher at the end of the year. Tough look.
Okay, I hate to be this way. If you do this, I think it should be like one month in jail.
I think you should have to do jail time for this. If
you're
a public doo-doo guy,
unbelievable.
Yeah, especially like a public park, like kids play there. Like, come on, man.
And it's just like, why do you keep doing this? What is your problem, dude? What are you doing? That's disgusting. That is disgusting.
Yeah, apparently this has happened multiple times over the last 2 years, and he is listed. I can't remember if it said what school he teaches at, but he is to be retiring at the end of this month. I wonder if it has anything to do with...
There's a difference between, like, trusting a fart, maybe, and
but they're like continue
wings or something like that.
Continually just crap in a public park.
What is your problem, bro?
Yeah,
and even at that, you're just pooping in your pants, I guess. But that is disgusting. That is this guy.
This is what's hilarious
I think maybe
to me.
Almost a year in jail.
I think it
scare freakos away from doing that.
Yeah, I agree. And in his quote, he says, "I am disappointed in myself. I have the great opportunity to teach political rhetoric. In this class, I stress the importance of involved citizenship. You should have taken your own advice, bud." And then he continues to say, "And then there I am, being a lousy citizen of Walworth County. My hypocrisy now sickens me."
Yeah.
But dude, come on, man. You can't just go around doo-dooing in the public park and like on a Monday through Friday, he's in class like, "Hey, kids, be a good person."
Because I'm guessing this is why you made it your sinker, because this has to make teachers look horrible.
Yeah, I teach a class similar to this.
Yeah, he's supposed to be at the same around the same level as you, with the knowing
to a high standard.
knowing like social
right
studies,
from
being
wrong.
able to teach kids, and in his brain at some point in his life, he
Yes.
said it's okay to poop outside.
It's okay
in
to
a
go
park.
poo-poo in the park.
That's craziness.
It is. It like this guy Monday through Friday is like, "Hey kids, be a good citizen and like help out your communities." And then on the weekends he's just scatting all over public parks.
I'd like to be like, what was his first time? Like, I'm gonna go do this, and then
I'd be willing to bet like the first time, like you said, like it was a case of bad wings or something.
I feel like from the beginning it's been like a planned out thing, and it's just like something he enjoys to go do.
He's like, I've been so like vanilla, so walking the line. I'm just gonna go start crapping.
So unfortunately
in the park.
for you, this is
it is a bad look. But
bad look for all teachers.
I don't go outside
Especially
enough to do something like this.
Teachers that are
like I said, this guy
teachers.
and I teach very similar subjects. It seems. Well, he is an English teacher, but there is some like citizenship and civics involved in apparently what he teaches. But man, that's a bad look. Bud, come on, you're making us look bad. My floater, on the other hand, is anyone 26 and up. So I'm sorry, bud, because anyone 26 years old and up
we have World War
can't
III.
be drafted.
We
so
have World War III coming soon.
If World War III starts, I am in that group that cannot be drafted. You don't want me fighting. I would be a horrible soldier. I'm the first to admit it. You would
complain all the time.
I would. I have a fairly when the going gets tough. I especially physicality. Like I like lifting weights and working out, but that's a completely different story. You don't want me. You want me to be at a desk or something.
Waking you up at 6-5 in the morning to go run, and I understand. Like you said, you're into the fitness.
That's a
much
different
totally
story.
different kind of fitness.
Yeah,
and, the mentality of a soldier.
Or like I'll even say like I did 10 miles today, but I rode the bike for 5 miles and I did the elliptical for 5 miles at a decent pace, but like definitely not like get in a line and run for 5 miles.
And I say this because I am also in the same way. I don't think I would do very well.
Yeah, I'm not sure we would be. We could provide like the comic relief.
Yeah.
Like give us, like in the movie.
I would learn to cook.
Yeah. Or you've seen the movie Good Morning Vietnam with Robin Williams, how he does like the
I've never
radio.
seen the movie, but you have said it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's I like it a lot. But he's like he provides some comic relief in really bad situations. I feel like we could provide a podcast on the Army News Network or whatever they.
Well, like I said, I would learn how to cook or
clean. I'd be a good desk jockey. I could
whatever it takes
fill out some forms
to do
I'm pretty good with computers, but you don't want me shooting a gun at people.
No, I mean the guys in the front line because
that's not us.
No, they said we're very grateful for everyone that are. We're totally grateful because
we couldn't do it.
We couldn't do it. No. I mean, it's kind of like that kind of takes my breath away because that is kind of scary.
It is
that you could. I don't know if it's going to happen or whatever.
We don't get into politics on the show. I just don't see it happening.
No, but with that being a real thing, I will be 25, so I have a whole another year until I am officially out of the. Is it 26 and up, or
I think it's through
26
your 25th year, like after you're 25.
Okay, so I have one more year.
Yep,
and that it seems like that could be when it starts. Is the 1 year that I'm going to be right at the age. So
right.
Hopefully Zelo makes it through the age of 25 without being drafted. Hopefully for America.
Everybody's sake, yeah.
Because that I don't know if I can do the rest of the show. I'm flustered right now. I am flustered.
You'll be okay.
My floater is going to sporting events. I understand. I love watching them from home.
Yeah.
But I went to the United Center last night, and just being at the game with all the people and all the fans, and I understand there were a lot of Boston Celtic fans there. A lot of Boston Celtics fans. They were like right behind the bench. I don't know if it was a group of people that were together or what, but it was a lot of green in the building. It was actually quite a bit of people at the United Center for, I would think, a Saturday night game in the situation the Bulls are in. But like I said, I think the Boston Celtics brought a lot of eyes to the game. No Kemba, which kind of stunk for the overall of the game. But other than that, I had a good time. But I just think going to sporting events is something that we look over a little bit because, like we said, we can watch any sporting event we want from our house.
Right.
But other than that.
No, there is a special, and we'll talk about our New Year's resolutions later, and mine actually has to do with live sporting events. But
I read your mind.
Yeah, I agree. Live sporting events are the best.
It's great. It's like you said, the Bulls, like I said, they're not very good. We've said in the past they're not very good. But still going to the United Center, going through just seeing everything, the pregame, all the people. I mean, it just makes you realize that we sometimes get away from going to the games more often.
Right.
I feel like that basketball and football are kind of more that way. Baseball, I feel like will always be a game that I want to go see. That's because it's like every single day you have more options to go see it.
No, I agree. I think there is, especially like when you don't do it very often, then you kind of get that spark back, right? Like we haven't been to a game since like October, and when you kind of get that little. You have that lull, that time off, and then you kind of spark it back up. That's always a good thing to see. So
yes, but let's get into it. Like I said in my sinker, football is fading away. We had the NFL wild card weekend.
Wild was the correct word.
It was not how a lot of people would have predicted the weekend going. Let's start off with the Saturday game, the first Saturday game. We have Buffalo and Houston. Buffalo gets off to a 16-point lead, 16-0 lead. End up losing the game 19-22 in overtime to the Texans in a game that Buffalo should have won. It was theirs to have.
I called it correctly. The inexperience from the Buffalo Bills killed them. They get out to a good lead, and then they act like they've never had to play with a lead before, and they were just not taking care of the ball. They were leaving way too many guys open on a banged-up Texans team, and I just felt that, and I'll be honest, I'll brag a little bit. I thought on the Daily Show, I picked the games really well. I think I was 3 for 4 in the games I had picked and the spreads and everything, but the Bills, for 2.5 quarters, were the better football team, and then it just fell apart late.
It was a game that you thought the Bills are finally going to break through that wall of winning.
The last time the Buffalo Bills won a playoff game, I was 4 years old.
They were up 13-0 at the half, and then went up 16-0, and then
the Bills have not won a playoff game, I believe, in your lifetime.
Downhill in where?
In your lifetime.
No, I don't. I think you are very correct about that.
Because I think it would have happened the week before you were born.
So, yes, unfortunately for the Bills, the beautiful Buffalo Bill fans, they could not get this win. I still don't think the Texans are very good because I still think both teams kind of...
But they do have Deshaun Watson, who is
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't think that... I don't think that the Texans' defense is as great as it's meant to be because I think that this Buffalo team wasn't the best offense defense. I think that this should have been a game that the Texans should have blown them out.
But to still only give up 19 points in a playoff game is insane. So they got stops when they needed to, and I thought their safeties and cornerbacks played well in the second half. Obviously, the first half is kind of a wash with the score they were down. But I don't know. I can't take anything away from them. I think that they proved that when the plot gets thick and that they came to play and
at home.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
So, and then we go to a game that no one saw coming. The Titans go into New England and win 20-13.
Yeah, I especially didn't see that coming. I had an absorbent amount of money for me on that game.
But you were not the only person in the world that thought that the Patriots were going to win that game. Tom Brady, 20 of 37, no touchdowns, 1 interception, 209 yards. Ryan Tannehill, I don't know if you've seen his numbers. 8 of 15 for 72 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Here's what bothers me, man. And everyone kisses Tom Brady and Bill Belichick's ass till the cows, all the time, and rightfully so. They're the most accomplished quarterback. But lately, everybody, just worships the ground these guys walk on. They had a week to prepare for the Tennessee Titans, who everybody in the world knows that they're going to go to the running game. Derrick Henry led the NFL in rushing this year. And that was the preparation that they got for a team that was, think about back to 2 months ago when everybody was saying this defense is better than the 85 Bears defense, and you give up 182 yards on the ground when everybody and their brother, and shout out to Derrick Henry, the guy ran his tail off.
182 yards on 34 carries.
But if Bill Belichick, who's supposed to, I understand, I think they're at their end of their run here, but like that's the product you put on the field. You give up 182 yards on the ground with what many are saying one of the best defenses of the last decade. Come on, man. You got to be kidding me. That's a joke. Yeah. That's a joke. You got punked in your house 2 weekends in a row by the Dolphins and the Titans. Yeah. You don't deserve to be in the playoffs. I'm glad they're out. They didn't deserve to win. And like I said, I had too much money on the Patriots. I should be pissed off about it, but they didn't deserve to win. They don't deserve to still be in the playoffs.
No, and I said this is Vrabel's second time now beating and I think it's the 5th time he's lost to an assistant coach as of recently. So I think that maybe these former coaches with him maybe have kind of figured out his ways, or maybe the Patriots dynasty is kind of coming to an end here. We'll see where that goes next year. You'll know more about it after next year, I think. But at this point, this is a little rip in the dynasty. This is
definitely a wrinkle. That's for sure.
Wrinkle. I said rip, but I guess this was rip work.
Yeah,
I think I meant to say. I should have said wrinkle there.
They're definitely at a crossroads though too, because it'll be interesting to see if Tom Brady comes back. He did thank the Patriots organization for everything they've done over the years yesterday, you can't read too much into it.
He also went on to say that he will not retire.
Right,
he will most likely be back with the Patriots.
He's also at a contract year, and it'll depend on. And the thing is I think the Patriots will bring him back because if they still had Jimmy Garoppolo sitting in the 2 spot, then maybe they move on. But they don't really have anybody waiting.
I have a question for you before we move on to the Sunday games, the NFC games. Do you think that Bill Belichick is sitting there today, kind of a little mad that Jimmy Garoppolo will be playing next week with the 49ers? And I think that from what I hear, Belichick wanted to keep Garoppolo. And I wouldn't say that they were going to get rid of Tom Brady, but he wanted to keep a hold of him. And now you see maybe Tom Brady's taking a step back, which is, I mean, he's what, 42 years old? That's going to happen?
That's the situation that they put themselves in. They knew.
But you knew he was going to be good. You knew he was going to be good.
Exactly. And also you got to think, how long is Jimmy just going to sit there and be a backup without raising a fuss about it? Because eventually it would get to the point where he's like, okay, I want to play now. And everybody knows the Patriot way is not to talk about that kind of stuff. How long do you go until maybe he pushes Belichick too far till he's like, okay, we're getting rid of this kid, you know what? But at the time, obviously, they had a good relationship. But how far can you push a kid who is proven? I mean, obviously, we have retrospect being able to look back at it, but
I still think you could have made something work.
I don't know. It's almost like a sickening of riches to
Bill
Belichick.
I understand that, but you're now in a situation
to ride with the guy that got you there. You know?
But it is one of those things. As Bill Belichick, as the guy that you want to trust,
right? They
went against what he said, and I still think they could have had like a Bridgewater kind of way where they pay him quite a bit of money to be their backup,
right?
In a way where maybe you'll get some time to play. Like I said, it's one of those things you look back at. But the only reason you say this now is because the Patriots, for once, have stumbled in the playoffs, and they're going to be questioned for maybe one of the first off seasons of all time, that they're going to have to go through all these questions. And from an organization that
it's the earliest the Patriots have been eliminated in since the year that Tom Brady tore his ACL or his Achilles or whatever it was.
You know what? To end a decade where you went to the playoffs 18 times.
Yeah,
I don't.
And that was also Saturday was their first
loss at home. Since
no, not even that.
2012.
That was their first game in wild card weekend in 10 years.
Well, yeah, but it was their first loss at home since 2012.
That's crazy.
That is 8 years now. That's crazy insane to think about that. So. Yeah, one little stumble, but I still think that they'll be all right. And
they've got to pick up some receivers, man. I don't.
Edelman with a big time not catch there, drop.
I think it also makes you look at, and I don't want to dive do a whole segment on the Patriots, but their running back by committee stuff I think is a little played out.
Yeah, that's how they've always been, and it's one of those things. I don't know if you'll ever be able to get Belichick out of that way. But we'll see where they are next year. We start out today with the Minnesota Vikings going to New Orleans and winning 26-20.
I said Vikings +8 I like just because I didn't think that it was going to be a blowout. But I never would have guessed money line because Saints at home. But give it up to Minnesota. I mean, they gave up 20 points to one of the best, without a doubt in my mind, the best receiver in the NFL.
Can I say something that it's going to be controversial? And he was 26 of 33, 208 yards. But it just didn't seem like Drew Brees had that. Like, there was that one where Michael Thomas, they got them into field goal range right before the halftime. He underthrew that, and Michael Thomas, the announcers were kind of going on how he's kind of underthrown some things. And
I don't think he's 100%. After that surgery, I think that his injury had something to do with it.
Other than like Brady and him, I think he's 40? Is he 39 or 40?
He might be 40.
Do you think at some point that time's going to have to start catching up with these guys? And maybe, like I said, you can't bounce back from injuries like you used to be able to.
He actually turns 41 next week.
I guess Drew Brees had a great year this year.
Yeah.
But at some point, are you going to stick with them for a few more years? Or are you going to maybe try and get Teddy Bridgewater in there? What do you think?
Well, I don't know what his contract situation is. I think he's under contract for a couple more years, Breeze is. But yeah, unfortunately, the way that I feel like the NFL quarterback league or the position is almost like a good old boys league.
Yeah.
In the sense that like you've got to ride with those guys like Tom Brady and like Drew Brees. They did so much for your franchise. You can't just cut them loose because not only are they fan favorites, they've won Super Bowls, they've won MVPs.
But
honestly, if like you came in from a completely outsider's perspective, you might make an argument that Teddy Bridgewater on certain days is better than Drew Brees.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, exactly. But, at the same time...
They have a very good quarterback core down there.
It's at the same time, it's a very fine line. Like, who do you not piss off?
Yeah.
Do you risk losing playoff games?
The Patriots and Saints both have something in common where they have two coaches that are experienced. And if they were to want to go one way, even though I guess they've seen before with Garoppolo, that they would maybe be able to go that way with a quarterback. Because like I said, they've got two two established coaches, but it'll make the offseason a little more interesting to see what Tom Brady does. Will he stay with the Patriots? Will he retire? Will he go somewhere else for the first time in his career? Or will Drew Brees? I don't think Drew Brees is a free agent. I feel like he's got a few more years. But we'll see what goes on in New Orleans. Like I said, the freaking Vikings go to
and if
New
I hear
Orleans.
another person complain, oh, that was offensive pass interference, and everybody's like, oh, the Saints have gotten screwed 3 years in a row. Well, you know what? Maybe if you would just take care of business and not let it come down to one play, like I'm just tired of hearing.
No, but that was pass.
It was arguably pass.
It was pass. He pushed off. I mean, you can clearly see the push off.
He is under contract. Oh no, he might be.
Is he a free
on this website? I think he's got 1 more year.
1 more year. So we'll see. Is he 38 or was it 39? Does it say his age?
No, he could potentially be out in 2020.
Oh, so he could opt out if he wanted right now,
so.
Which
I'm
I don't
not sure
think
if it's a team option.
He will. Then we ended today with the Seattle Seahawks going to Philadelphia, winning the game 17-9. Carson Wentz, though, getting hurt. Right. Josh McCown coming into the game. I think he was on TV a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken.
And Josh McCown was also quarterbacking a high school team, or not quarterbacking, coaching a high school team at the beginning of the NFL season.
He's back in high school. That'd
be a damn good football team.
Yeah, he got them to get a chance at the win.
Yeah. 4th
down. I think they were on their 15-yard line. Got sacked at the end there. They couldn't get in the end zone. They would also have to get the 8-point, the 2-point conversion. We should make with the 8-point play.
The 8-point conversion.
The 8-point conversion.
They got to run it in from the 60.
But the Seahawks, a good game, but kind of beating a banged up Eagles team. A lot of injuries before the game. Like I said, Carson Wentz going out. I think they said head injury.
Yeah, so Jadeveon Clowney put his face mask right into the back of Carson Wentz's head. So
he was out for the game there. Probably would have been back next week. We would think with the concussion. Well, you never know, I guess. But taking away that chance. So Josh McCown, like I said, I think he played pretty well for the spot he was put in. A crazy playoff game in Philadelphia. You're 9-7. You're playing probably a better team.
Yeah.
And
they hung in there
at home. Like I said, the Seahawks, though, what do you think of this team? Do you think that they can? I know you're a Packers fan, but do you think that any chance? You always got to give Russell Wilson a chance.
Because, yeah, I mean, and I get like the whole Marshawn Lynch thing, but like Marshawn Lynch is not who he used to be.
No.
And the Packers have struggled against the run, but I am not afraid, and I'm probably this is going to come back, we can clip this up in a week when Marshawn Lynch goes off for 170 yards and makes me look like an idiot, but I am not afraid of Marshawn Lynch. He's not
the only running back that they have, though.
Yeah, their 2 original starters
when they signed him, they signed another guy with him.
Yeah, but there's a reason that guy wasn't signed, though.
I know.
So their running game doesn't scare me. Russell Wilson always. I think Russell Wilson's a top 3 quarterback in the NFL. But it's going to come down to when if the Packers can play 4 full quarters and not take quarters off like they have all year, they're going to make their way to the Super Bowl, I think. But if they decide that they're going to take the second quarter or the second half off, then they're going to get their butts kicked. So it's the playoffs now. I don't think you can count anybody out, but I like our chances. It's just going to take a lot. It's not going to be a walk in the park, but I like that Seattle has to come to Green Bay next week.
I would be reluctant to have. I would have to agree with you if the Packers could have got that 1 seed. You feel a lot more confident if you could play in Green Bay. Having to go most likely to San Francisco will change that a little bit.
But it's also in the same breath, if they do have to go to San Francisco, they've already been to San Francisco once, maybe get a little chip off on the shoulder from getting embarrassed.
I would be more willing to agree with you if it was the 1 seed. Like I said, next week we got Minnesota and San Francisco in the first game on Saturday in San Francisco. Then we got the Titans, Baltimore, the Ravens at home. That's going to be an exciting game. That was going to be a kind of a crazy game because what would that have been? Would that have been the Texans then? Or
for which one?
So Tennessee goes to Baltimore.
Yeah.
If the New England Patriots win, would that have changed everything? And then they would have played the Chiefs?
Yeah, New England would have went to the Chiefs. And then
the Texans would have played.
Yeah.
So they go by exceeding and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I never really realized that. So we got Tennessee now going to Baltimore. That should be 9.5-point favorites. Tennessee, that the Baltimore is right now. I think that is sort of fair, but
we also have not seen a single blowout in the first
and they
weekend.
just went to New England. And yes, you can say whatever you want about this New England team, but they still went into New England and won that game. So anything impressive. Oh, I forgot. San Francisco is 6.5-point favorites. I kind of like that too. Can Kirk Cousins do it twice? I don't think so. And then the Texans go to Kansas City now to play the Chiefs. Also 9.5-point favorites. The Chiefs are. I just don't see the Texans having much of a chance in this game. I think their only chance is, like I said, Deshaun Watson.
Right. I agree.
And their wide receivers are good, so I think that they can maybe get a chance there. But their defense is going to have to do a lot to keep them in that game because I feel like the Chiefs are going to score 2-3 touchdowns quickly, and you're going to have to kind of hold it up until maybe the third or fourth quarter. So I think it's going to have to be a game where you're going to win. I wouldn't say you have to win it in the first half, but you got to keep yourself in it.
Right. It's the time of the year where you've either got to play your best football or go home, and it's all going to be dependent on can you turn the juices on and get it going quick enough. So I guess we're just going to have to find out because I think there's going to be some good games.
We end the weekend with Boomy's Packers playing in Green Bay against the Seahawks, 5:40 game on Sunday night. That'll be exciting. I think that's going to be two great quarterbacks going at it. It's just going to be a good game, good way to end the playoff weekend. -4. 46 is the over/under. I want to know what it'll be. You can never ever bet a Lambeau game until about at least a day, maybe 12 hours, because the weather could be crazy. Like they said, when they said to Russell Wilson after the game, you're going to be going to Green Bay, he had no idea because he was thinking he was going to have to go to San Francisco. A lot different weather in these two games, and he goes, all I can think about is snow now, him going to Wisconsin and stuff. That'll be a cool game for him. But like I said, Packer game at home, you just can never figure out the weather. At Lambeau
because right now,
Bay.
to me, 46, I'm like, that number for Aaron Rodgers versus Russell Wilson, I like the over, but if it's going to be snowy and crappy, then
10 degrees out, then you're gonna take the under because it's going to be because Lambeau is one of those places where it can be cold in 2 seconds and be warm the next day.
I mean, even today it was 33 here, and I'm like, I don't want to be outside for this. I don't want to play football in this.
So, like I said, sadly, the division round is next weekend. Then we have the conference? Conference championships. Then we have a few weeks off. Then we have the Super Bowl. Then football is sadly done until we get the XFL. But other than that, hopefully the XFL can last a little bit longer than the AAF did. Was it AAF?
Yeah.
So that was,
I think their goal, they just have to make it longer than they did the first time around.
Yeah.
Just make it a little bit longer than the last time.
Bulls. I went to the Bulls game last night. They are 13-23. Looked pathetic last night against a Boston Celtics team who was off a back-to-back. Just played in Boston the night before. Probably got in super late or really early. Looked like they had nothing going for them. They looked like they got out to a little bit of a lead there. Blew it quickly, very quickly, and Boomy said that he had bet against the Bulls, which was a good idea.
It was a pick 'em.
I did not. I went with the Bulls.
Honestly,
because I was there.
This is me being a bad friend, but as soon as I saw you bet the Bulls, and I was just going to go against it because I forgot that the Bulls were playing until obviously.
You can't say sorry when you had the better bet because if you looked at the game, you knew that they had no chance. You knew that there was nothing going to happen there. The Bulls looked pathetic. Like you said, a game which a good team in the East that they should have beat at home the Celtics were off a back-to-back, and it looked like you had no effort out there.
Yeah, give up 28 to Jason Tatum. And
a lot of Celtics
Gordon Hayward,
fans there.
24. Man, it's
just
and on it that's 3 losses in a row. That's 3 in a row. And now you got to go to Dallas tomorrow or today.
Oh, their second half schedule gets hard, very bad. And it's one of those things you thought that we played a lot of bad teams here in the first half of the season, and
we're 13-23.
We're 13-23.
Come on, man, that's garbage.
Give me a break.
We're gonna finish. We're just gonna tank the rest of the year. It's gotta be.
It's gonna be an ugly end of the season. Like I was looking at tickets for the rest of this month and the beginning of February.
$5.
No, we play the Suns on one night and the Cleveland Cavaliers on another Saturday night. I'm like, well, that sounds like this place is going to be packed with people. That is going to be unbelievable. The Bulls, Suns, and then the Bulls, Celtics. And the Bulls, Suns, Bulls, Cavaliers on a Saturday night at the United Center in Chicago.
There's going to be no one there.
That's pathetic.
There's going to be no one there.
There'll be nobody there.
There shouldn't be anybody there. Especially the Cavaliers. Have you seen what's going on there? Kevin Love, I think, is trying to get himself traded.
I saw he went kind of crazy.
He just turned and threw the ball at him, and Jim Beeline just do not get along. And I understand. I don't think Jim Beeline's a good NBA coach.
When his team is just horrible.
They are terrible.
He wants out of there quickly.
And I'll give him. He's actually lasted longer than I think I would have been able to. Sans
the money
LeBron.
He's getting paid probably helps that too.
But don't. I mean, Phoenix at the same time is 14-21, and
but I'm just saying
a half a game out.
A Saturday night, you want to go see some really good basketball.
And unless you're a diehard sports fan like us, most people don't even know that Phoenix. is
Devin Booker's on the team. They're a good team. They're an up-and-coming team, as you would want to say.
I think that's a good way to say it.
But I think the next time the United Center is full will be either a Blackhawks game or the All-Star game. I forgot the NBA All-Star game is at the United Center this year, so that'll
go to the dunk contest or something.
We should. I was going to kind of look at tickets or whatever and see what the prices were for that, because that would be exciting. See some of the big-time athletes in the NBA at the United Center.
Speaking of another team that plays at the United Center, the Blackhawks just tied it.
They are 2-2. That's just kind of how their season has gone. We got down 2-0, now tied it up. Probably going to lose like in overtime. They always either go down or they get up, and then they either lose the lead or they get it back in the game, and then they go to overtime and they lose. It just seems like that's just their thing right now. Is we want to make it a little weird at the beginning of the game, then we want to make it either interesting or make you mad, and then we will probably lose in overtime.
They're in last place in their division.
18-18-6 right now.
And I actually saw a tweet. I think it was from Len Casper today. I can't remember exactly who. But he said he doesn't like the way that the records are done in the NHL because they're almost like a false positive in the sense that, like, think about it. If you were to put the Blackhawks, would you say their record was 18-16 and what?
18-18-6.
Okay, so if it was the way it's supposed to be, the Blackhawks would be 18-24. Now, doesn't that make you a little bit more concerned looking at 18-24 than it would if you were looking at 18-18-6?
Yes.
I think Len made a good point there, and I'm curious if anyone else noticed that. I really think they need to get rid of the third category because, in all honesty, I get what you want out of the points, but there should be another place that you can put that. Yeah. Because that is a loss.
Yeah, that is true. I never really thought about it.
It's a false narrative. Like it almost tells you the incorrect story. Like just the way your brain. Like when I hear 18-18, I'm like, okay, 500 will be okay, and then you're like, oh wait, they have 6 more losses.
Oh, so you said they're actually 18-24.
I believe so.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Those are just overtime. So that's just a weird way.
Yeah, because the third category, the 6, is the overtime losses.
So that just like pretty much is making
but they put it there because
record.
you get a point for going to overtime. But like to me, that's still a loss. You just put it in the category. I don't know. It's probably a dumb argument, but I don't know. It makes I would be a little bit more concerned. I guess in the same breath, it goes on points, but I don't know. I think that's something that could be looked at getting changed.
So let's get into our New Year's Eve.
First show of 2020.
Resolutions, yeah.
First show of the decade, too.
This is the first show of the decade, first show of the year. 2020, the year of TCF is what I keep saying. Typical Chicago fans. But let's get into our New Year's resolutions. What is yours?
All right. So obviously my first one's kind of very similar to everybody else. Like we talked about earlier. I enjoy working out. I like lifting
that's mine
weights.
too. Get back in shape is also mine.
That a boy.
But by playing sports.
Okay.
And, I also need to get back to the gym and maybe do some cardio. But
yeah,
I don't really want to like lift a bunch of weight. I just want to get back into like decent shape so I don't feel like a bum all the time.
Mine, that's kind of the thing is like I want to lose a couple of pounds here and there, but like I want to do a mile of cardio because I base all my cardio off of like the mileage, and I just know like I need to push myself. So by the end of the year, there's going to be 360. I believe this is a leap year, so there's 366 days. I want to do 366 miles of cardio.
There we go.
And last year I did 200 miles. I feel like right now today is the 5th. I've already done 14 miles of cardio in the first 5 days. So something I need to keep up. I think I'm going to do this.
So you need to do what, 300 and...
I have 352 miles left.
But if you get to your goal, you're not going to just stop, right?
Yeah, but I'm also like testing this thing out. Like we record on Sundays. So like today I did a 2 for 10 or a 2 for 10 Sunday. So I did 2 different machines for a total of 10 miles. And I feel like if I do that, there's going to be 52 Sundays. So that puts me at 520 miles.
Oh, yes. Yes, I mean.
But that also means I don't have to do that every week. I can do it like every other Sunday.
I think you should shoot for way over your goal. I think you should try.
I mean, this is already doubling
past the
like
goal.
1,000 miles of cardio.
Yes.
I'm
pushing.
That seems like a lot. Especially
I'm pushing to get the goals to be way higher.
I agree now, but the way I'm going to feel tomorrow is when this comes out.
But
is
imagine
probably,
after a few weeks of doing that. I don't really.
We'll see.
I'm not really one to know how it feels to be back in shape.
I also did 10 miles, and then on the way here, I ate a piece of gas station pizza. So I think the
balance.
nutrition.
It's called balance.
Exactly.
It's called balance.
But my non-physical thing is to see basically all my teams once a year. So I'll go to this is going to be easy for the Cubs because I actually went in with my dad and brother on the Cubs package. But to go to a Bulls game.
We went to a Bulls game this. Oh, I guess
Yeah,
you
me
mean
and you
2020?
Yeah, 2019 doesn't matter. But so go to a Bulls game, a Blackhawks game. Obviously, a Packers game is different because you can't really. I don't know. I'm weird about going to NFL games. They're too expensive.
And
I'd rather
it's
watch
not like
at home.
you live the farthest away from that.
Right, and I also think that like
You don't have that
maybe
many.
like every 3 years I'll go to a Packers game or 2 in
Have
the
you
decade.
been? Have you been to a regular season?
No, I've never
game?
been to a regular season game. I also, within the next decade, I want to get to a Florida Gators game. That's one of the things I want to go to. But like, just see my teams, quote unquote, as many times as possible. See as many sporting events as possible.
Mine is kind of weird. I don't know why
Sure.
I really thought about this. I want to watch every single Cubs game. I want to make
In
sure
a season,
the whole season.
I was gonna say like that's like every 162.
Yeah, not like in person. Like I want to
No, I
watch.
know.
I want to record them, and if I don't watch them live, I want to see every pitch.
That's you're just watch it on like record it, watch it the next morning at like 2 times.
That's
speed.
what I mean.
So you're done with it in an hour.
That's what I mean. But I'm going to. I want to watch. I want to know everything that happened.
You're a lunatic.
I'm going to be.
I would get bored with that after a week.
No, that's what the thing is. I'm very interested by like
Baseball, I
I don't
love
know
baseball
why.
because it's the perfect background noise to me.
Well, I'm not
because
again,
I'll
I'm
put
not
it
gonna
on and
sit here and like write notes on every single
no, I
game.
know,
I'll be
but, like,
doing stuff.
I'll put it on, and you know me, I clean all the time and like rearrange stuff. So like I'll put the Cubs game on in the cave and go like clean the bar.
Well, I mean, if it's like a day game or something, I'm watching it like listening on a radio. I'll probably still go back and watch it like a little bit of a different
Definitely.
speed. But actually, that's my thing.
So there's a couple other ones I have. Like I've did some stuff this summer about going to all the baseball stadiums. I have only one. Or actually, by when the time the season opens, there'll be 2 Major League Baseball stadiums I haven't been to, so I need to stay up on that.
Which ones?
Miami. I'm going to Miami
you
over
are.
spring break, but I also have to figure out because the Texas Rangers are getting that new stadium, and I didn't realize that opened this year.
Is Oakland getting a new stadium too?
Maybe. And actually, Oakland, I never actually got in. We went all the way around the stadium and tried to sneak in at every entrance, and we couldn't get in. But I've technically been to the
I don't know
stadium.
why don't they just let people in there?
It's also kind of a dump.
That's what I mean.
so-
They should just let people in
Yeah,
there.
that place stinks.
If you really wanna
Literally,
come- if you
they
really
were the
wanna
ones that
see
had
this
like
place.
sewage like spilling everywhere.
Yeah, in
but
the
I
dugouts.
think what we might do is we maybe like catch a cheap flight to San Francisco for a weekend and then drive over for an A's game because shoot, the tickets aren't more than like $10. But also, I've been to 44 states. So sometime this decade, I know it's not really a New Year's resolution, more like a new decade resolution. Sometime this decade, I want to finish off all the states.
all the states you've been to. Like,
All the
what
ones I
states?
haven't
What
been
have you
to.
not been to?
I'd have to look at it, but it's like the northeast one. So like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. There's
Our lovely
New
sponsors,
Mexico.
the Muddy Otter. They went there for their honeymoon.
New Mexico, Hawaii, and Alaska are the 6 I haven't been to.
I would like to go to Alaska.
Yeah,
It'd be kind of cool to go.
I
to
think
Alaska.
I'd be one to like go for a little
a
bit
week
of time.
or so. Like
And it actually works out. My buddies right now, his girlfriend works half of the year in Alaska, so might be able to work something out there. But I don't know. I really don't have a desire to go to Hawaii.
no.
Like I know
it's
it's
a long
like
flight,
beach.
isn't it?
Yeah, and it's expensive as hell, man. Like,
But it looks beautiful.
we'll probably try and get out there at some point this decade, but like that's a little bit
That's
more
your
travel.
decade-long goal.
And I need to get a passport and like leave. I've been to Canada once or twice, but like that doesn't really count.
I don't have a I don't think I have a passport.
Maybe me and you will go together and we'll get passport.
TCF does the passport.
They're like $100. I looked into one time. They're like $185.
Probably worth it though.
Yeah,
but it's good for like 10 years.
Maybe we should get a sponsor and send us to Europe or something.
That'd be awesome.
That's a bad idea.
Well, they got what? The Cubs play the Cardinals in
London. Yeah.
London. I mean, that's good.
I don't know. Yeah, we could look into that. But yeah,
we could look into that.
Traveling more.
But
anything else you got on the list there?
No.
PG?
But let's get into our decade-long sports predictions for our teams, our favorite sports teams. We're gonna go championships. I know I've seen this all over the radio, all the radio game. They want to go who's gonna win. I want to know how many championships your team, which would take away the Bears and put the Packers in there, and then pretty much everything else. Cubs, Blackhawks, Bulls. How many championships do you think they're going to win?
So between the Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs,
and Packers. 4. Distribute the championships.
2 in Green Bay.
Oh.
1 in... And this is only because I'm riding high because I think that Tom Brady and Drew Brees and those guys are done.
But
Aaron Rodgers
how much longer do you think Aaron Rodgers is got?
I mean,
you think he's got 10 years?
Like 8 years. Yes, I think he's going to be... Yeah, because he wants that money. If he doesn't play, he doesn't get the money.
I'm just saying his body.
It doesn't matter. His body's fine. He's only had like one.
I understand it, but he's one bad injury. I mean, he's still old. Go on.
Well, so is Mitch Trubisky. Well, Mitch Trubisky's one bad injury from being he breaks his neck.
he would still. I would say like a knee injury to be tougher for Aaron Rodgers to make just older.
So all right. So 2 in Green Bay.
Surprising.
1 for the Cubs. And then I think the Blackhawks are going to get 1. I just don't see the Bulls doing anything.
No. So I'm going to give mine.
But if I were to add in, I think Florida's going to win a football national championship.
We're not going national championships. I would have to go 4 because I think the Cubs will win 2. And I think the Bears and Blackhawks will both win 1.
Okay.
We'll both win 1.
Okay.
And I think the Bulls have no chance.
Now, if you make it a Chicago thing, I think I bumped my number up to 6
because
I think the Cubs
the Sox win 1.
Yeah, I think the Cubs and Sox will get 1 this decade. So my number would be at 4, not 6.
Yeah. So I
was adding in my Florida
I just don't see the Bulls having really any opportunity.
So neither of us see the Bulls doing anything.
Could get into maybe 1 Stanley Cup. I think the Bears, if they can turn it around here in the next few years, they still have the pieces to win a Super Bowl, so that could be that. And then the Cubs, I think they could turn it around and maybe still go on a little bit of a run here in the next few years and maybe win
as long as Theo's running the show. I mean, look, didn't Boston win 1 and then a couple years they were kind of straggling around? And yeah, but it was everything that he had built.
Well, yeah.
I thought he won 2
He might have won 2.
I thought he won 2 in Boston.
So that means he has 3. That'd be very.
I think
he's the greatest. He's the greatest. So you got.
Yeah, give me 4.
4. I got 4. But yours is just different with the Bears being out.
Yeah.
And,
do you have any decade resolutions, things you want to do this decade?
Because
at the end of it,
you'll go to a lot of sporting events, like just random, not just Bears, and Cubs.
I have really weird,
bunch of random sporting events.
I want to go to every team in the Midwest League. We
were gonna try and do that this year. We'll go to a bunch of small town teams.
Yeah.
What was it called again?
The Wisconsin State League.
Yeah, like that. But I also mean just like I said, maybe if we get a hold of some All-Star tickets, if we go to the All-Star game at the United Center, kind of that kind of stuff. Not just going to games that you want to go see your favorite team.
Right.
Just trying to go to all sorts of different
see
events,
more
or
stadiums.
Events in general, concerts, all that kind of stuff. Just live a little.
I agree.
Live a little. But I think that's all we got here. It's been episode 61 of Typical Chicago Fans. Thank you to our sponsor, Score Trader. Pigo is going to tell you right here how we won some money last week and how you can also win some money. We got 3 more weeks of the playoffs here, but next week will be heavy on the Score Trader app. Go to the Score Trader app on the Apple Store. Type in Score Trader, and it'll be a free app there. The Score Trader. Type in, make an account. It's free, no deposit, no nothing.
$0.
We won $50 in getting 3rd place. We spent $0 to get into that event. So you go on there. I think first place got like $150 or something. So go on there, win some money with Score Trader. Like I said, one of our sponsors here on Typical Chicago Fans. Also, The Muddy Otter. Go to themuddy.otter.com. Go to The Muddy Otter on Facebook and Instagram. Go to that site. Check out their pottery, woodworking, Hannah and Mitch Prentice out of Lake of the Ozarks. Again, that is The Muddy Otter. Go on there and get your pottery. Get your woodworking stuff. They're going to be back in the lab here in the next few, I think, week or so, or whatever. And they will be back at getting your...
The wood bowls they make are really cool. Check that stuff out, too.
Yeah, it is very cool. If you're into that kind of stuff, like even just the decoration stuff, they got that on there. And also, if you're looking to get maybe something specific, let them know.
Yeah, hit them
maybe
up.
they can do something for you there. Thank you again.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter at BoomyTCF before Zach sends me out of here.
Actually, I'm not going to let you say that.
At BoomyTCF. Apple Podcasts, subscribe, rate, and review. Spotify, make sure you follow us there, and head on over to the YouTube page to catch everything we do over there. And just be kind. Leave us some good reviews wherever you go, and tell someone you know. Make that your New Year's resolution. Once a month, you're going to tell someone about the TCF podcast.
You know what? I'll say something nice to you. That's my favorite Packers hat you have because there's only a little bit of that nasty-ass green and yellow on there.
I do like this hat a lot.
Yeah, I think it's nice.
Except I got to get it washed because my cousin's kid got purple lipstick on it.
Especially when you're facing that way, I can't see that the nasty green and yellow at all. I will
wear it like this from now on.
Yeah. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at ZLiljatCF. The main page is at typical_Chicago. Facebook, Instagram, Typical Chicago Fans. Type it in. You'll find us on there. Follow us on both of those. We post all of our videos and podcast on either Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I almost said Spotify like I was going to. So we've also put all of our stuff on Spotify, Apple, Spreaker, wherever you can get your podcast at. We also do the TCF morning show about almost every day during the week. We started off Monday through Thursday, but I think it's just whenever we feel like doing one. We sometimes do 6 shows a week. Sometimes we do 4 shows a week.
Yeah.
But we have been putting out a lot of content on there. We also put that on the podcast version too. So go check us out on the podcast, and on YouTube is where we put all the videos for that and the show. Again, it's been episode 61 of Typical Chicago Fans. We love you all.
Peace.